Hey, welcome to Keeping It Real, the largest podcast made by real estate agents and for real estate agents. My name is DJ Paris. I am your guide and host through the show. And today is our monthly episode series called Social Bootcamp with Gogo Bethke. Gogo Bethke came to the United States in 2003 to build her American dream. She was broke, had no real estate experience, no sphere of influence, barely spoke English, and only had $6 to her name. So that left her with nothing else other than Facebook to help build her business, which is where she started. She created Gogo's Real Estate and began her real estate career. Now, with the power of social media, Gogo has sold over 75 million in real estate transactions. She shares the good, the bad, and the ugly of real estate, and her honest snippets into her daily life earn her tens of thousands of social media followers. And in the real estate community, she has earned the nickname the Queen of Social Media. After being asked to present at various conferences and events with realtors, she built her own social media bootcamp for realtors called Gogo's Bootcamp. Today, she has a team of over 300 agents nationwide. Her goal is to help as many agents as possible make a name for themselves in real estate utilizing social media. Now, if she can do it, a girl from Transylvania, Romania, with no formal US education, no sphere of influence, no money, no experience, and an accent, then anyone can do it as well. Please, everyone listening or watching, go follow Gogo on Instagram at Gogo's Real Estate. And please also consider investing in her bootcamp. It is the single best program we have ever found for real estate agents to master social media. We have a special discount for anyone who is a Keeping It Real podcast listener or viewer. So visit gogopodcast.com. Again, Gogo podcast.com for your special Keeping It Real discount. And it's the only product that we promote. So please check it out. It's absolutely worth your time and money. And who doesn't want more social media success? I know I do. So Gogo, welcome once again to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Happy 2021.
I know, it's crazy. We've been doing this now for almost like a year and a half or so.
So it's funny. I was telling Gogo just before I said, how many agents, because Gogo's at EXP, she has a team, she has agents all over the country. Whereas I'm just in Chicago and I only have agents here in the local Chicago area. And it took me 10 or 11 years to get to 700 agents, which is still quite a bit. Gogo's like, I'm at 300 and I've only been doing it like recruiting agents for like a couple of years. That's how amazing she is people learn about her social media bootcamp. They subscribe, and then eventually they're like, can I join your team? I want to be around you all the time. So you've just had incredible success. We're so proud to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. But I like your optimism though. You're like, you're almost there where I'm at. I'm like, hold on, I'm halfway there. But thank you for being such a you can do this kind of person. You're awesome.
Well, you are doing it, which is amazing, because a lot of people talk a big game, of course, especially when it comes to real estate, but you're actually out there doing it. So I just think that's so awesome. But I know you just go ahead.
I said, I'm in the grind every day.
Yeah, me too. And that's really so much of it is really just discipline and habit, and social media, of course, is discipline and habit as well. But before we get to that, I know you were talking to me before the episode today about a new video that you put out about doing CMAs via Zoom, and I would love for you to share some of that with our audience.
Yeah, I figured we could talk about that today because as times are changing, especially with social media as well, not only that technology changes, but life changes and it throws a curveball like COVID and you're like, oh, suddenly I have to figure out how to do business from home. So CMAs, we do it anyway. In the past, when someone wanted to know how much their home is worth, you would run the CMA from home. First, you would go out, see the property, then go back home, run the CMA and yada, yada. Now, they don't necessarily want you to enter their home, nor do you necessarily want to enter someone's home just so you can see the condition and you can go back home and run the numbers. So we do Zoom CMAs now. It's very simple. All I need you to do is get a current customer or client that is willing to go on camera with you and show their home via Zoom. And then they walk you through the home. You take notes to the home. You ask the questions that you would ask as if you were walking the property in person. And then you can run the CMA right there with them. You open up, you share your screen, you open up your MLS and you run their numbers, show the comparables, all that. If they like the numbers, maybe they decide they want to list. If you don't have a current customer or client who's willing to do that, you can always ask a friend, somebody who's your best friend, your biggest supporter, your biggest cheerleader, your best friend, let's say her name is, I don't know, Jessica. Okay. So call Jessica. He's like, hey, Jessica, I'm really trying to do this new thing. I'm going to assign, 4 hours every Thursday, where from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'm running CMEs online. But I really want to show the people what it's like, what I'm even talking about. Would you be a guinea pig with me? Would you allow me to walk through your home, act like you're Mr. and Mrs. Sellers, walk me through your home? And sorry, my children are deciding to leave. Okay, you guys gotta go. This whole
No problem.
stay at home mom life. Kids are okay. Can you guys be out on the door in 1 second? Love you. Bye.
So funny.
The mom life, you know how that goes. So back to that. Okay, bye. Go out on the door so I can continue this. So with that being said, so Jessica will agree. She'll go and open up her doors, walk you through the home. I'm going to mute it for a second because this door is so loud. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Almost there. There we go. Okay.
There we go.
The door is like, I'm so sorry about that, guys.
No problem.
Okay, so go back. So Jessica agrees. She walks you to the home. She's going to act like Mr. and Mrs. Seller, and you ask the questions, that you would ask in person anyway to know how much, how to run the cams. Then you're going to sit down, share your screen, run the numbers, and then you're going to save that video, maybe upload it to YouTube so you have an actual link. And then you're going to go and create yourself a Calendly link. So for every Thursday, for example, from 5 to 9 p.m., you create a Zoom CMA Calendly link. So you're going to take this video that you created with Jessica, you're going to post it on all of your social media site. You could even boost it and run an ad with it. And so with that way, you explain everybody that is in your sphere or following your account that, hey, I'm doing CMAs from now on every Thursday night in person. You're going to get me on the Zoom. We're going to walk through your home via Zoom. I'm going to then run your numbers. If you love the numbers, maybe you decide that you want to list your home. And then we do the listing process from there. We can do all our paperwork electronically as well. I don't actually never have to step a foot into their home. And then the photographer, of course, they're going to have to show up, but we provide, by the time photographer gets there, we provide all of the hand sanitizers, masks, all of those things. So they come in, take the photos, and we get the photos back, release the property, and you never even step a foot into the house. So
it's amazing.
Absolutely doable with the power of technology nowadays. So what I was trying to say and help with that video is that whatever life throws at you, you can absolutely get it done. You just have to switch your sail. Like if the wind start blowing from this direction, then you're going to adjust your sail and continue going, to reach your goals. It's just, it might take a different route.
So when Jessica's walking through her home on video, what are you looking for? What are you asking her to show you? Because obviously you're probably directing her saying, okay, I want to look at X, Y, and Z. Is there anything specific that you're really looking for because you're not physically there in person?
Yeah, I mean, just as you would, the things that you would see with your own eye, and now you might or might not see it because I'm like, hey, do you have any cracks in the ceiling? Do you have any water damage? If I was there, I would just look up and take a look at it.
Sure.
If they live there, they might just be like, oh, that crack has been there for 10 years. You know what I mean? But now you're like, I need to see that. So you have to ask those questions is like, how old is the roof? What was the last time you pumped your septic? If they have septic and well, do you have septic and well? How long did you live in the property? What kind of updates have you made to the property since you moved in there? Do you have hardwood floors? Do you have it on the second floor, first floor? When you go down the basement, okay, do you have any cracks in the foundation? Are they vertical? Are they horizontal? Do you have any water damage? Have you had any water damage? Like all of those things. How old is your furnace? How old is your water heater? Do you have is everything in working condition? Would you be taking the appliances with you, or would you be leaving them? Those kinds. So any questions that you literally would do when you are in person at a listing appointment, you would do the same thing, just ask them over the phone. Because sometimes when we are out there, like we can see, oh, there's a hole in the wall. Somebody punched the back of the door. Like we're going to have to fix that.
Right.
I mean, so those kind of things you're just going to have to ask as you're walking through every room. Make sure there's no cracks in windows. Have you lost seal in your windows? Like those kind of things, because they're going to ask for it to be repaired. And I want my sellers to be upfront, know about it. If you lost seal in your windows, let's just fix it before we list it, or give them a credit. Or do you have stains in the carpet? Because on the video, I might say it, I might not. If your carpets are stained, let's give them a carpet credit, an allowance of $1,000, or let's hire a carpet cleaning company that's going to clean it prior to listing it. Like those are the, the questions that you're going to do, just like you did your job when you entered their home. It's just now it's verbal.
And then what about staging? So let's say they say, great, let's list this home. And then you've noticed when the video when she was walking through, you're like, I need to now direct her to put certain things away, or maybe even, if we're doing professional staging, we're going to have to swap out that couch. That's a more extreme version of staging, but are you directing, hey, before the photographer gets here, here's what we want to do in this room. Are you doing that sort of room by room?
Absolutely. So I always tell them, hey, I'm going to talk to you with the assumption that I got the job. Okay.
Gotcha.
So I always say that in the end of the day, it's your call of who you're going to hire, but I'm going to talk to you like you already gave me the job. So I'm going to tell you what it's like to work with us and what are the expectations or what condition your home needs to be in order for me to take the listing. Because I won't take a hoarder's house. Like you have to put that in tip top shape so I can actually sell it. That's what you hire me for. So with that being said, if we are walking through the property and there's clutter everywhere, I'm going to be upfront with them and say there's two kinds of people, the people that can see themselves through your stuff and the people who can't.
Right.
Okay. Some people's going to be like, oh, you have a couch there. Psh, my couch is going to fit because your couch seems smaller. Or the people who's going to be like, oh, there's no way my couch is going to fit here. There's no furniture in here. So they can see it or they can see it. So our job is to bring it down and meet them in the middle, to be minimalistic where they don't get overwhelmed with all of your stuff so they can imagine theirs, but you still have just enough furniture so they have something to compare it to if they were to bring their own couch in here. So I always have them depersonalize as well. So especially if it's a single mom, for example, I would make her like go get some men's clothes and hang it in the closet and remove.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you don't want somebody to come back and pay your visit.
Oh, great. Boy, that's a huge safety point that I would have never thought of. Being a man, it's not something I think about, but boy, that is such a great idea.
If I want to walk into a closet and there's only women's clothes, I know it's a single mom.
Right.
And there are some
Wow.
weird people out in the world. So I want my clients to be protected. I always tell them to remove pictures from the walls, personalized pictures, especially if they are like in that sort of a situation.
Sure.
Especially if they are in like, how do I say this? Like a police officer, for example.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know who your enemies are, you know what I mean? And God forbid they just entered your home, you know what I mean? And they recognize you from the photos. Like, I don't want that personal stuff. Also for other reasons, sometimes people can't see themselves in a home after they see who lived there.
Good point. Good
So by
point.
removing those things from the wall, now you're suddenly of like, it's just furniture.
Right.
You don't know who
So
lives there.
basically remove all photos, pictures, anything like that can get put in drawers for
And
showings.
kitchen counters, I don't want to see anything but maybe one of those knife holders and a paper towel and a soap. I don't want to see anything else, maybe a coffee machine. But other than that, nothing on counters. Same in the bathrooms. I tell my clients, I don't care where you put it. I don't care if you pull out the drawer and you do one of these,
Right.
close the drawer. I don't want to see toothbrushes. I don't want to see flosses. I don't want to see anything but one soap and a towel.
Yeah, that just makes perfect sense. Minimal, but not empty. Because I know for me, I'm closing on a property soon in the next month, and everything's empty because it's a new development and it's new construction. And I'm having the hardest time in looking at my master bedroom and the secondary bedroom because they're completely open and blank. And I do not have a good ability to just create something in my mind and say, okay, I know exactly how this is going to fit and look. Thankfully, my girlfriend is able to do that. But so it's a really good point. Is we don't necessarily want a room totally bare because people like me don't know how to process that information. It just looks like a giant. Actually, it looks like a very small space actually to me.
Exactly. So that's what happens. If it's empty, they look at it. There's no freaking way my couch is going to fit here.
Exactly.
But if the couch is already there, they're like, oh, yeah, that will work. It's really fine.
Yeah. Boy, that's such a great idea. I remember when I first got into real estate about 11 years ago, the prevailing thought back then was have the room as empty, like almost empty so people can visualize their stuff, which is great for people that can, but not everyone can do that. So, and of course we live in an Instagram world where we like seeing things in rooms as long as it's clean, it's minimal, and it flows.
Yeah. So to answer your question very quick, I have actually never through my career has had my seller pay for furniture to stage it that way. We have done digital staging. So we have a company that will plug furniture in there and it looks like it's there, but when you show up to the property, it's not there, but it brings them in on the door because the picture that brings them in on the door is beautiful. So digital staging is much, much cheaper. The sellers don't have to actually go out there and rent furniture from stagers and things like that. So that's what we've been using.
Yeah, it's a great idea. And digital staging is a really strong point because again, you want somebody to just get to the home. And if that's going to do it because what they currently have in there is either not enough or just isn't, up to date and modern, digital staging is, pretty much any photography studio can do that these days. So
Yeah.
we're a big fan of that as well. All right, let's pivot. I want to talk about social media because we always talk about social media, but I wanted to talk about something that I think is often overlooked. You talk about this a lot, but I just want to talk about it as well today, which is not so much about what do I post, because we've covered that on a lot of things and we'll continue to cover that in future episodes. But I want to talk about, I always hear about social media also being a great research and development sort of arm of your business, because you can find out what's going on with your clients and you can interact with them, and it's a pretty good chance they're going to notice what you're writing when it comes to their own posts. So I want to talk about it, sort of engaging with your audience's content.
Absolutely. So it is just as important. If you want them to engage with you, then you need to engage with them. It's really that simple. And so I try to, every time I have a free minute and I'm going to use the bathroom, for example, if you're going to sit there for 20 minutes, you're going to go on Instagram and you're going to comment. Now, of course, now everybody got a visual of like you're in the bathroom. What I'm trying to say is that whenever you have 5 minutes, then you're doing absolutely nothing. Go on your Instagram, make sure you follow the people that, of course, you want them to do business with you. So you want to support them in return, and comment on their post as well. So they want to, and it doesn't have to be anything real estate related. Let's say it's their child's birthday. Just wish him a happy birthday. Or he want her a happy birthday. Let's say they just got a new job. Congratulate them on the new job and be excited for them. Just stay in front of them, because when they see you all the time, you stay top of mind. So they're like, oh, Gogo's real estate just commented. Oh, Gogo just said this. Oh, Gogo, oh, that's right. Gogo does real estate. Your goal is to stay on top of mind. I didn't even comment anything real estate related. I didn't ask for their business. But by commenting on something that's going on in their life and supporting them through that, especially let's say they have some sort of they're collecting funds for something. Even if you're just donating $20, just show your face, show your support them, because in return they will support you. And it's very simple. Just spend, anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, an hour max a day on commenting on other people's posts.
Yeah, I know for me, whenever I post anything, which is not all that frequently in my personal life or in my business life on any of my social media accounts, I don't always notice who the likes. I don't necessarily go and look at see who liked the post, because it's just, whatever. It could be a couple hundred people, or I just don't care that much. But it's nice that people do like it. But when anyone writes a comment, I read every single comment, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Any comment anyone ever writes, I get instantly notified, of course. But I always look, and it's, it's one of those things. I think you're right. If you could just even 10 to 20 comments a day, boy, there will be so much love that you're generating. We all know how good that feels to see someone wrote a comment and you're like, oh, I wonder what they wrote. Be that person. And even like Gogo said, even if it's just congratulations on the new job or the whatever, that's really all that's needed. You don't have to talk real estate. They're going to be like, wow, my real estate agent or my potential real estate agent really cares. They're noticing, they're commenting, they're engaging with my content. And like Gogo said, if you expect people to engage with you, you better engage with them as well.
Absolutely.
Let's keep it short today, because to me that what we just said was so powerful, and it really is. It's sometimes the simplest things. That's what they call Occam's razor, right? The simplest or the most effective strategy oftentimes is the most direct, and that is such a great strategy. So yes, focus on what you're posting, but make sure you're spending an equal amount of time, or at least a good 10-20 minutes a day commenting on other people's posts. It's easy. You're doing it anyway. You're scrolling anyway. So you might as well leave a few comments and make people feel good along the way. And boy, if you can do that, you don't have to do it every time. In fact, I'd recommend not doing it on every one person's every post, because then they're going to know, oh, she always comments, and maybe they're going to see that as a marketing tactic versus an authentic like reaction that you have to something they've posted. So do that, 10 to 20.
Read the post, like don't give a thumbs up because their cat just died.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like actually take the time and see what they posted about and comment accordingly, because yeah.
And if it's something that's a big enough life event or something that you really react to, this is another reason to pick up the phone too and say, oh my gosh, I was just on Instagram and I saw that you went to XYZ place for vacation. I want to hear about that if you have time. I'm thinking of maybe going there or whatever the circumstances. This gives you a reason to pick up the phone. And then if you want to have a real estate conversation, you can tack that on. Or if you just want to have a conversation. But boy, social media, I think that's maybe one of the best uses of it is to find out what's going on in our clients' lives.
Yeah. And get a hold of them. DM is right there. It's a direct message. There you go. Done.
Love it. All right. Well, that is a perfect, quick, and chock full of great information. We talked about doing CMAs and getting listings without ever visiting a property through Zoom, which is absolutely doable. GoGo is doing that. And of course, you know, a lot of people don't necessarily want real estate agents walking through their home right now. So what a great opportunity. Test it on a friend. That was a really great suggestion. Call up somebody and say, I need to figure out how to do this, because you don't want your first time to be live with a potential client, because you won't know exactly how the flow of that goes. Try it with your parents, your friends, somebody in your life that you go, just pretend that you were thinking of hiring me and I'm going to walk you through this process. And then of course, you know, commenting on social media posts you want to engage with your audience's content. So make sure you're doing that. And then everyone who's listening, go to gogopodcast.com and purchase her program. It is absolutely worth the money. You need better social media in 2021, and GoGo has the very best program on the planet of how to become a superstar on any of the social media platforms. And then also follow her on Instagram. That's GoGo's Real Estate. So at GoGo's Real Estate. And then also, if you're an agent and you're like, I want to work with this woman, I need to join a team that is crushing it on social media, and that I have an actual team member who is going to be training me along the way, GoGo is the person. So GoGo, if there's any agents out there, and by the way, you can be from any state in the country. You don't have to be from GoGo's hometown, or home state, which is Michigan.
I wish we were in Romania, not just yet. We are international. So yes, anywhere in the US, Canada, England, Austria, France, South Africa, India, name it, in 14 different countries. So
well, if someone's interested in maybe joining your team, how should they do that?
They should just DM me on GoGo's Real Estate on Instagram. That is the best way of getting into. Talk directly to me. All of my other platforms I have virtual assistants on. Instagram is the one that I personally answer.
How easy, right? So go to at GoGo's Real Estate on Instagram. And if you look in the show notes for this episode, you'll see her link there, and reach out to her. It might be the team that you're looking for in 2021. And EXP is just exploding all over the country. And they've really have some cool virtual stuff, tools. And then GoGo's got her own set of tools to add on top of that for her team. So reach out to her and learn more about what she offers. GoGo, thank you so much. We wish you a happy 2021, and I'm glad that you and your family are safe and healthy, and everyone's doing great, and your business is growing and continuing to be on our show. We're so appreciative. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's been a year, I think just a little over a year that we've been doing this once a month, and it's my absolute pleasure every time. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Well, we will see you next month. And we want to thank everyone for continuing to support and listen to our show. Please tell a friend. Think of one other real estate professional that could benefit from hearing this interview and episode with GoGo, and send them a link to our this episode. The easiest way to do that, just actually send them a link to our website, keepingitrealpod.com, or follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/keepingitrealpod. And we will see you on the next episode. All right. Thanks, GoGo.
Thank you so much for having me.